Nearly half the planet's population is highly vulnerable to climate change. That's according to a landmark United Nations report released Monday. Scientists warn countries are not doing enough to protect against the impending disaster. Deborah Alfarone has details on the report from the White House.
A dire warning from the world's leading climate scientists: adapt or suffer.
There is a brief and rapidly closing window to secure a livable future on the planet.
A new UN report finds the risks of climate change are growing, adding to ecological threats like wildfires, heat waves, and rising sea levels, displacing people from their homes and damaging their health. The report says countries have failed to rein in carbon emissions.
This abdication of leadership is criminal. The world's biggest polluters are guilty of arson on our only home.
The UN Secretary General says it's essential for world leaders to meet the goal of limiting global temperature rise by 1.5 degrees Celsius. President Biden entered the White House with the most ambitious climate agenda in U.S. history, but his signature package for it, Build Back Better, has stalled in Congress. And there could be another hurdle for the president. The Supreme Court heard an appeal Monday from 19 mostly Republican-led states and coal companies, challenging the EPA's authority to limit carbon dioxide emissions from power plants.
The EPA can now regulate in ways that cost billions of dollars, affect thousands of businesses, and are designed to address an issue with worldwide effect. This is major policymaking power under any definition.
The outcome of the Supreme Court case could hamstring the Biden administration's efforts to fight climate change in the U.S. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
For more, I want to bring in CBS News senior national and environmental correspondent Ben Tracy. Ben, you know, this report comes just months, as you know, after a UN climate change conference in Glasgow. What findings stood out to you in this study?
Well, Jericka, this is a massive report. This is hundreds of pages long, and unfortunately, most of it is pretty grim. One of the scientists involved in this said this is a your house is on fire kind of report, and that seems pretty spot on. I mean, basically what the scientists are telling us is that the impacts of climate change are accelerating, that this is already worse than they thought it was going to be at this point, given the amount of planet warming we have had so far. We're at about 1.1 degrees Celsius of planet warming, and we're trying to keep that below 1.5, but they're saying these impacts that they're seeing around the world, not only to human populations, but to the animal populations and plant species, are already worse than they thought, and that is limiting our ability to adapt. So they're saying that we have to more quickly adapt to these changes, but that involves everything from our cities to what we do with nature-based solutions and what we're going to do about people, who, especially who are in low-lying coastal areas as sea levels continue to rise. The one other thing that I really thought was interesting about this report is they focused for the first time on mental health. So this wasn't just the physical impacts of, you know, dying in a massive storm or heat stroke, but they talked about how this is really impacting mental health for people around the planet.
Yeah, I mean, to hear that there's limited time, one begins to worry more on top of the many other things that people generally worry about. The UN Secretary General is demanding immediate action from world leaders. I want to take a listen to what he said earlier.
With fact upon fact, this report reveals how people on the planet are getting clobbered by climate change. Nearly half of humanity is living in the danger zone now. Many ecosystems are at the point of no return now. Unchecked carbon pollution is forcing the world's most vulnerable on a frog march to destruction now.
So when you hear that, it doesn't even sound like there's time. In the danger zone now, some very serious warnings there. How do you expect other global leaders to respond, especially to the United States?
Well, the UN Secretary General, he's been pretty blunt about this stuff all along. When another UN climate report came out this past summer, he called that a code red for humanity. So he is really trying to ring the bell here and wake people up to the fact that this problem is getting worse and that we're not doing nearly enough to address it. I think what you saw today is there were a lot of statements that came out from world leaders, from organizations saying how horrible all of this is. Former Secretary of State John Kerry, who's now the climate envoy for the Biden administration, he put out a statement saying that further climate delay and denial is a recipe for disaster and that we have to start adapting to these changes that we're already seeing. So you're seeing a lot more talk, but the criticism has always been that there's been plenty plenty of talk and simply not enough action. What really needs to happen is for countries to start cutting their planet warming emissions. Those come from the burning of fossil fuels, because until we do that, this problem just keeps getting worse.
Ben, really quickly, 2 more questions. Did they give a specific sort of timeline? I know we just heard from the UN Secretary General say now in some places, but was there a, by 2065, it's really not looking good? And my second question is, what are some of the strategies and recommendations, perhaps outside of trying to get a handle on emissions, that could help slow this process down?
Yeah, and that timeline's even more acute. I mean, basically, this report says that we have about 10 years to adapt to these changes that are coming. And that may seem like a decent amount of time to some people, but when you're talking about, rebuilding coastal defenses, figuring out new ways to grow food in different parts of the world, figuring out what some of the impacts are going to be when we really do start losing all the coral reefs and forests, these impacts start to compound upon each other as they change. So there's still a lot of unknowns, but they're saying we basically have a decade to get things to start adapting to this more quickly. On your second question there, in terms about what can be done, there is still some hope in this report. It's a lot of doom and gloom, to be honest, but there is some hope because we still control this. If we are able to cut planet warming emissions, as I mentioned before, that really can slow this down. That can keep us below that threshold of warming that scientists say will really create these tipping points that will set off other changes that we're just not ready to adapt to and probably won't be able to adapt to, because if we go beyond those thresholds, you talk about spending the kind of money that would just be impossible for most countries, and also just the threshold that people will reach and not being able to adapt to certain heat.
I think you said, was it 1.1 degrees Celsius?
We're at 1.1 degrees Celsius of warming currently. We're trying to keep that below 1.5, but this report details what happens if we get to 2, 3, 4.
Oh, gosh.
A lot of scientists think that's unlikely, but those impacts are just catastrophic.
And I totally understand that mental health piece when you hear that news. Ben Tracy, thank you